And we are now live, nice, on Instagram as well.
Wonderful.
Okay, let's see if it ends for us today. Hopefully it will not do that. And hopefully y'all be able to actually hear all of the music we will be doing as well. Since it's kind of a new feature for us that we're going to be looking at. But yeah, okay. Hopefully y'all are actually able to hear us. I'm pretty sure you can. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into what we are going to be doing today. So we are going to be doing our 5th episode of the music therapy podcast that we have been doing. And today we're actually going to be looking at a song that was sung by Mandisa, and it's called Overcomer. And I think first I'm going to go ahead and just let y'all know kind of what's going on with that whole situation. So unfortunately, very, very sad. Mandisa passed away Thursday, April 18th, which was really, really sad news for us to hear.
Yes.
I remember I grew up listening to Mandisa all the time on the radio, whether it be I was going to church or, you know, just on the road, and I would turn on K-Love and I would hear actually that song a lot back in whenever it came out. Was it like 2006? I'm not really sure.
The song Overcomer, 2013.
Was it 2013?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't too far off. But yeah, I would listen to that song all the time. So, you know, I thought it might be good just as a tribute to her and her amazing story and how many people she helped, that we would go ahead and look at one of her songs. And I had been meaning to actually to look at one of her songs just because she honestly was an incredible singer and an incredible writer. I'm pretty sure she actually helped write a lot of the music that she sung. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just as a tribute to her today, we're going to be looking at and discussing one of her songs and how we are going to be able to potentially use her song in our own personal story in our life to kind of analyze the lyrics and use it for like music therapy purposes.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
In my 2 cents, Mandisa is absolutely amazing, and
yes.
I'm delighted to be able to maybe just think about her this evening and draw from some of the amazing music that she produced. Mm-hmm. And maybe before we do that, this is a daughter-father initiative.
Yep. What we're doing today, yeah.
That we're doing this evening. And Holly is a published musician.
Yep.
And I am...
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he's a licensed mental health counselor.
Right, a Christian counselor.
So, yeah, so he's going to be helping me kind of analyze the song, and we're going to go through and kind of discuss the lyrics with you guys. We're going to go ahead and listen to the song, and I will read the lyrics as we go. And we'll kind of go through a in-depth analysis of the song. And then when we are all done looking at it like overall, we will go ahead and kind of do an overall rundown instead of like a deep rundown. And then we'll give you all like pointers or bullet points y'all can take away from the song to be able to use in your own time.
Yeah, and this kind of activity is, commonplace in our family. And we thought, wow, why not share this with the world?
Right, exactly. All right, so as we said, this is also our 5th song that we've been doing on this series. So I will go ahead and pull up the song. But before I do that, do you want to go ahead and give us a rundown of what generally we think that the song could be saying to an audience?
It's a remarkably powerful song. There's a tremendous amount of energy. Of course, that's just typical of Mandisa. She just always sings with such strength, very powerful voice. And Overcomer is no exception. And I think it's reasonable to say that the title of the song says what it means to say.
Yes. Be
an overcomer.
Yep, that is so true. All right, I'll go ahead and pull up the song here. So, yeah, there we go. All right, here's the song. This is Mandisa, Overcomer. I kind of want to add, as we're listening to the intro kind of in the background here, something that I always thought interesting about Mandisa is I could always kind of tell if it was her song just because the way that it was made. It fits her so well, too. And this is verse 1, by the way. I absolutely love her vocals in the song, too.
Yes. So talented.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause it there before it like jumps into the chorus, which I feel like for me, anytime I hear the word like overcomer or like I know it's a song that Mandisa's done, I immediately think of that chorus just because it stands out so much in the song in such a good way. Like it just kind of like immediately draws in an audience and the energy just like shoots through the roof, you know what I mean? So yeah, just a little something to say about the chorus. Beautiful. There, but let's go ahead and I will read verse 1.
Okay.
And then we will jump into kind of our like thought about verse 1. So verse 1 says, staring at a stop sign, watching people drive by, T-Mac on the radio, got so much on your mind, nothing really's going right, looking for a ray of hope. Whatever it is you may be going through, I know he's not going to let it get the best of you. I already love the first verse, by the way. Like, I listened to this song constantly when I was younger, like middle school and high school. So I kind of have it almost memorized.
It's very easy just to listen to the song on repeat.
Yeah, that's so true.
Verse 1 to me is the whole song, but verse 1 starts out with such a relatable picture. We're sitting in a car, we're looking at a stop sign, we're going somewhere, we have all kinds of things going on inside our minds, things to do for the day, probably feeling stressed, overwhelmed. That's just kind of the picture. And I'm looking for a ray of hope, relatability.
Yeah.
Any one of us can say we've been in that position tons of times. And T-Mac on the radio, I think that was a beautiful touch.
Yeah, that's true. Like, just like mentioning him. I think he was featured in the song. I know that. I don't know if he like actually worked on the production. Potentially, that's very possible. But
I just think there's a lovely friendship between them.
Yeah, I do think that's the case. Yeah.
And I just think that's a beautiful touch.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I totally agree with that. I think also the first verse to this song, I think it paints kind of a picture of someone feeling stuck or kind of like discouraged. And some of the lyrics, as I'm looking at the lyrics here, that kind of remind me of that feeling, or something that she might have been saying there is... Okay, so lyrics like staring at a stop sign and nothing's really going right. I think those two phrases for me kind of established a sense of like being stagnant or like even frustration. You know what I mean? And it's almost like a relatability, I think, as you mentioned, which I think is important to kind of establish at the beginning of the song. It draws in your audience and makes them feel like they're a part of this as well. You know what I mean? And like you said, the T-Mac on the radio, that line in the first verse, also can set the scene for that relatability, like that everyday experience.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sitting in a car, listening to some tunes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so that was verse 1. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the chorus?
The chorus.
And I'll back it up just a little bit so we can hear her say the overcomer. Yeah. And I think that's loud enough, probably. I love this chorus. It's so good.
Yes.
Okay, real quick. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and pause it real fast. So I don't know if y'all could hear that, and I'm going to go ahead and back it up just because right now listening to it, I actually don't think I've ever heard that before, which is kind of interesting. But in the background of the song, I don't know if you heard this, but it almost sounded like one of those phones from back in the day that was like a wall mount phone when you unhook it from like the mount on the wall, this like beeping sound. I don't know if y'all heard that. I'm going to back it up just so I can hear that again.
I must admit, I didn't hear it.
Okay, maybe it was just me. I don't know. That's just an interesting musical detail I was listening for there. Let's see if I can hear it. Hold on. Right there in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, but I don't know. That's interesting. I just noticed that.
That would be the musician ear.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the chorus then after that. So I'll go ahead and read it before we do the analysis. But yeah, let me go ahead and pull it up. Here we go. Okay, so here's the chorus. You're an overcomer. Stay in the fight till the final round. You're not going under, 'cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for the moment, feeling like it's hopeless, and that's when he reminds you, you're an overcomer, you're an overcomer. Okay, and so that was the chorus. And before we kind of jump into the analysis, just as the musician kind of point of view, it's kind of interesting here to see that she repeats you're an overcomer twice. And also interesting, she repeats you're an overcomer in the beginning and at the end of the chorus, and not in between, which is just an interesting little thing to note. Yeah, like as a beginning and final thought of the chorus, which is interesting. But yeah, anytime I see a phrase or a word that is repeated more than once, either in the chorus or even in the verse or the bridge of a song, I typically think that is probably the phrase or the word that the artist might want you to take away from the song itself. Also, typically, we do that as musicians, so that way, typically for like, that's the title of the song, it'll be something you'll remember because we've repeated it over and over again, so y'all can actually go find it again later. But that is something interesting to note, is that you're an overcomer was repeated several times throughout the chorus, probably highlighting that phrase out of the song. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's hard to sit still listening to Mandisa sing.
Yeah, that's true.
She just really draws you in.
The energy is really high already from the beginning.
And it's not a push, it's a pull.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's more of like a pull. Yeah.
And you know, the outstanding message again is overcomer. You know, and I think she's also trying to, the way I interpret it, take, you know, it's not like it's been forever. It's just a little while. You know, you've had the stress for a little while. You know, don't overstate it. Yeah, that's kind of written into the lines there.
Yeah, that's true. And I think also for this song, Overcomer by Mandisa, I think the chorus here is kind of the heart of the song. And I think like the message that I understood and that I felt growing up listening to this song was it was offering encouragement and also kind of a message of hope to the listeners. And I think she might even be like directly addressing and acknowledging the listener's struggles throughout the chorus here and throughout the whole song as well. But I think in the chorus, she is assuring them that God is on their side. You know, that actually can probably tie back into
a chief message.
Yeah, I think it can probably tie back into why the "You're an Overcomer" line was written maybe at the beginning and the end of the song, just to reassure and re-acknowledge that God is on their side. And I think phrases like "He's not going to let it get the best of you" and "You're an overcomer" establish that core theme of overcoming challenges through faith. Even though you may not be able to physically see your way through it, through faith, you will be able to do anything through God because He will always be there by your side regardless.
Yes, you know what I mean? I feel extremely comfortable with that rendering. That's good.
Yeah. I do think the phrase "You're an overcomer" establishes that message of empowerment, like you said earlier. So yeah, all right, that was the chorus. So why don't we go ahead and jump into verse 2?
Verse 2.
There we go. Oh, hold on. We're already halfway through the verse. I'll back it up there. Okay. I love the energy of the song.
I do too.
All right. And that was the verse again. Here we go. Put it down.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. I love how her voice, regardless of the song she sings, can draw in an audience easily. Like immediately it just draws my attention to anything that she's saying. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. Not even like listening to what she's saying. It's just like the voice is just she's just so good at it. It just draws me in. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up verse 2 and I will read it for you guys. And then we'll jump into our thoughts. Okay, here we go. So everybody's been down, hit the bottom, hit the ground. You're not alone. Just take a breath. Don't forget. Hang on to His promises. He wants you to know. And then that was verse 2. And then we jump into the chorus there. It's kind of interesting. she ends the verse with like a lead into the chorus, which is cool.
That kind of a transition. Again, I think verse 2 is the emphasis, at least from my point of view, tries to relate to all of us. You know, we've all going through life. We've hit the bottom somewhere, you know, so it's just hard. Life isn't easy.
Yeah.
And, but you know what? It's not over. You're an overcomer.
Yeah.
I think it's not over. You're an overcomer is kind of the message that I take from just the beautiful intensity of her singing. That's good.
Yeah. I think like the phrases that I picked up from verse 2 was everybody's been down and hit the bottom, hit the ground. Those two phrases. I think it acknowledges a universal hardship, which is kind of cool to see. And it kind of expands on the idea that everybody faces difficulties.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it truly latches on to the idea, like, you are not alone through everything that you're going through. God is there, but also other people have been through that too. And God has pulled them out. Like, you know, you can go and see the evidence.
The community, a sense of community. Yes, that's good.
Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the chorus. And hopefully that's loud enough. Yeah. I heard the phone again. I'm not crazy. I heard that. It's still there.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, it's the bridge. Okay. Sorry. I was listening to the song and I got...
You got drawn into it.
Yeah, I did. Okay. So that was the chorus again.
So the second chorus, when we enter into the second chorus, since we just discussed it, what I like to do is just kind of reflect on different people that I've had interaction with in my career as a counselor, Christian counselor. And I just, you know, whoever comes to mind first is just kind of what I go with. And there is a young lady, roughly 18, blind, in college. And I mean, I'm just very impressed with her tenacity. That is not easy, to be blind and go to school and manage, negotiate, you know, classes and just the whole complex social structure of a college and, you know, mobility around a gigantic campus and all this stuff. That's a big deal. And so tremendously inspirational, and so overcomer. Yeah, for sure. And another young dude, early 20s, like I said, he just came to mind. A lot of physical struggles. His body, I mean, you know, when you're 22, you're supposed to be, you know, fit, right? And just, and, you know, he would be, except that his body isn't entirely cooperative with him. But man, he can drive a mouse, he can drive a keyboard. He's a tremendous creator in his own right.
Oh, cool.
And, you know, overcomer. And so I really appreciate the tenacity that is in us if we'll reach down and find it, and surely with God and be an overcomer. And I really feel like Mandisa is just challenging us to do that.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, why don't we go ahead and move on into the bridge here.
The bridge is next, I think.
And I want to back it up just a little bit because the bridge is really cool in this song. The transition from the chorus to the bridge, I love. Okay. It's another thing I like remember about the song. Make it a little louder. There we go. I love that the energy doesn't shift too much. It's still up, you know? Yeah. So pretty. Oh my gosh. I love that vocal riff she did. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to turn it back off. Sad. Okay. So I'll go ahead and read the bridge. Let me pull it up. There we go. All right. So here's the bridge. The same man, the great I am, the one who overcame death, is living inside of you. So just hold tight, fix your eyes on the one who holds your life. There's nothing he can't do, he's telling you. Yeah.
I love that whole message. It's a message of faith. You know, who is she talking about? Jesus.
Yep.
And, you know, I mean, she ain't messing around, right? I mean, it's just a remarkable, it's a love story really right there between us and Jesus who lives inside of us. Yeah. And the bridge is a celebration of having a relationship with God. That's my interpretation of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Let's see some of the phrases there that kind of stuck out to me was the same man, the great I am, the one who's living inside of you. I think that references Jesus and his like victory over death. At least that was my takeaway from it. And it kind of signifies that God can overcome anything. Literally, he overcame death. So
that's true.
And I think for me, the bridge was kind of telling me to kind of hold tight and fix your eyes. 2 more phrases from the bridge. But it was telling me to fix my eyes on God. And it kind of, for me, emphasized faith as the key to overcoming any challenge. Even if it's physical and you can kind of see like the end road, like, oh, it would make sense if I go do this, that, and the other thing. I'll be able to overcome those challenges. But a lot of the times there are challenges that we do not know how we're going to get through it, which really does take a level of faith in God to do.
That's true.
And
faith, courage.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think for me, just from personal experience, as a musician, a lot of the times money can definitely, at times be tight, and I'm not really sure, when the next paycheck is going to come through, and I'm trying to be responsible, you know what I mean? And not just be silly and be like, have faith, it's going to just come to me and it'll be fine. You have to put in effort, and work. It's not just going to be like magic, that's not how it works. But I do trust that this is the path that I believe God wants me to go on. And I have to have faith through that every day I'm faced with that challenge. And he reassures me and shows me every time that it will be okay. I took care of you and I gave you this desire to go and sing. And, I've already opened doors for you. Go ahead and look back on the doors that I've already opened for you. This is proof that what you're doing is going to work out through me. You know what I mean? So that's something that I take away from the song personally. So maybe y'all can relate in your own stories. But yeah. So that was the bridge. And then we'll go ahead and do the chorus. And then we'll go right into the outro after that.
Perfect.
So let's go ahead. Okay. Hopefully that's loud enough. And I love that switch in her vocal too.
Yes.
The energy. It's like from the beginning of the song, the energy was already high and it just keeps climbing. I love that. Let's see. I think it's getting into the chorus here. Here, hold on. Before we go ahead and do that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down just real fast. There was something I wanted to just say about the chorus just one more time to kind of drive home the idea of the fact that she begins and ends with overcomer, really kind of stating that regardless from the beginning of the end of the chorus, that God will always be there for you.
Stick with it.
Stick with it. Yeah. And also I love that little part in her voice. I wanted to pay tribute to that. Okay, there we go. I can still hear the phone, by the way. It's in the background still. I hear it. Okay, I think that was the end, actually.
Yes, I think so.
There we go. Yeah.
The phrase that I heard is "don't quit," which I think is a call to action. Don't
that's good.
Quit.
Yeah. I do think that's a call to action.
She emphasized that several times there, right? I guess that's the outro.
Yes, that was the outro.
Don't quit. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Overcomer.
Let's see, how many times did she say overcomer? So in the chorus, she would say it 3 times, and in the outro, she said it 4 times. And in between that, it was don't quit. So that's a cool way to end the song. Really like driving home that idea. Yeah. Here's what we're trying to say. In case you didn't catch it from the beginning to the end, this is what we're trying to say. So
in a minute, you're going to ask me what the overarching theme is, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Okay, go ahead. You can take my line from
me. Be an
that's
overcomer.
Fine.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the song Overcomer by Mandisa. And now we're going to go into part of the music therapy podcast that we're going to go through and kind of discuss how you can use this song. So we went through the analysis of the song, what, someone like could be feeling throughout their story, but now we're going to go into how we can actually use that. So why don't we go ahead and jump into that? So the first thing I'll ask is, we know this song is talking about becoming an overcomer. really cool.
Right.
But what are we overcoming? Why don't we go ahead and talk about that? So what could somebody be going through that you would recommend this song for them to listen to?
Well, any kind of hardship or challenge in life, if you're feeling down, I don't know if I'm inserting this, but I feel like she said that somewhere in the context of the song. At least that crossed my mind.
I think probably, yeah.
And, a sense of anxiety, a sense of stress, and you're just feeling stuck. I think probably, if I was going to speak in broad terms, if you're feeling stuck, this song is remarkable to help pull you out of stuck and help you have some energy to, just keep going. Because very often that is what's required is don't give up.
Yeah, that's true.
And she is, it's a remarkable message that she's delivering.
Yeah,
in that sense.
True.
And the next theme usually that we talk about is, what are concrete steps? And I was just, participating in the conversation with you, and you began to do this naturally, which is what I recommend everybody do, is take the song and interpret it in your own story. How does this song actually, what does it make you think of in your own life?
Yeah.
Where are you stuck, and in what way might you be an overcomer with Jesus, given, faith? And it could be, maybe you don't have a path and you're looking for a path, or maybe you see something, but you're, kind of apprehensive to do it.
Right.
But there's this overarching theme: don't give up.
Yeah, that's
and so
true.
I think the clear sense of being able to find your story in the song would be the first, probably most prominent concrete step of what we would do with a beautiful song like this in therapy.
Yeah, that's so true. And I saw somebody said being doubtful. That's another good one too. If you're feeling doubtful, like anxiety, you're feeling doubtful about things, that this would be a good song to listen to.
That's true. Yeah, good.
So, okay, we kind of went through if you were feeling different certain things that this song would be helpful for you. So now that we know that this song can help us overcome those things, how do we actually go about doing that?
Yes, and the interpretation would be step one, and that is kind of an introspection. And like I said, you could listen to the song easily on repeat, and in doing so, see yourself in the story.
Right.
So that's step one. Step two, I really recommend journaling, even if it's kind of like maybe freelance, just jotting down words or phrases that come to your mind as you listen to the story, and then look back at it and say, oh wow, okay, maybe that's, because you never know what's going to come out whenever you just allow yourself to kind of let it just fall out of your mouth, or fall out of your pen or something, so to speak. Yeah. So that'd be number two, journaling. And then the third would be it is a clear message of community in the song. I think that is a powerful statement for humanity. I mean, none of us want to be alone. So share the song and the message of the song and the impact of the song with somebody in your story, friend, family, and ask them if they've ever thought about how the song might be useful to them. What would the impact of the song be in their case? And I think just sharing each other's story relative to the song is in its own right very helpful and healing.
I do think that's true.
Yeah, those three points: to interpret yourself in it, to journal, really kind of brainstorm, and then to share. Those three, I think, are really useful instruments. Yeah,
that's so true. All right. Well, that was kind of the overall analysis on our end, our thoughts about the song Overcomer by Mandisa. And at this point, I kind of go through and I explain that these songs that we have just shared with you guys, you can go through on different playlists that we will be creating, which we'll put in the description or in the comments section of the posts whenever we actually post things on all different platforms. But y'all can actually go through and rewatch this if there were things that you liked and things that you actually wanted to write down and remember. And some of the platforms that we are on have subscription stuff, and if you wanted to subscribe to that, you would actually get a bunch of the bullet points that we've created for the song to kind of help and go into a more in-depth idea of what we're thinking that the song could help you with. So that was our analysis and our discussion about the song Overcomer by Mandisa. Mandisa.